Welcome back. This is the story of the horrific torture and murder of Tracy Muzyk. The shocking details of Tracy's murder were strangely underreported at the time, but the term mob mentality can definitely be applied to this crime. When mob mentality, or even peer group pressure, leads to murder, does it mean that the individuals involved would never have imagined committing such a crime before becoming carried away in a particular situation, perhaps feeling pressured into taking part, feeling they too may become a victim? Or is it the safety in numbers that gives them the courage to do something they had always really had the capability of doing? In this particular case, I believe all of those involved deserve to be locked away for a very long time. But 23 years later, we know at least one of them is walking the streets today. 18-year-old Tracy Muzyk was a troubled teen. She lacked self-esteem, was socially awkward, and just wanted to fit in. After running away from home, Tracy met and was befriended by 17-year-old Amanda Pemberton. Pemberton hung with a crowd that included Tara Cahoe, 18, Lyle Bascom, 17, Matthew Austin, 21, and Ian Mackenzie, 19. On the 9th of December 1996, Tracy was at a house in the suburb of Royal Park in Adelaide. Tara Cahoe demanded that Tracy pay her $70 that she said Tracy owed. Tracy said that she didn't have any money, and an argument began, eventually spiralling into an assault that would last until the following day. Tara Cahoe began to beat Tracy, and Lyle Bascom joined in, hitting and kicking her repeatedly. Amanda Pemberton also kneed and hit her, then held her down while she was burned with cigarettes. Later, Matthew Austin arrived. He decided to spray Tracy's face with mace before joining the others in the continued beating. The group then decided that Tracy needed to be cleaned up. They hacked off her hair and put her in a shower, where she was scalded with boiling water. After hours of abuse, Tracy was told she was going to die. Tracy was marched to a nearby paddock at the old West Lakes High School, where 18-year-old Ian Mackenzie told Lyle Bascom to collect rope and a star-dropper fencing post. She was tied to a tree, beaten severely again, and strangled to near death. Tracy was repeatedly struck with a large steel pole before Ian Mackenzie stabbed her with the fencing post. He then dropped a heavy rock on her head. Pemberton then held her down while the others jumped on her lifeless body. Tracy's badly beaten body would sit in the paddock, tied to the tree and covered with lawn clippings for another 4 days, before finally being found by passers-by. Detectives working the case didn't take long to piece together what had happened and track down the killers. They were eventually rounded up and put to trial, but being 1996, their sentences seem a little light compared to notorious teenage killers today. The sentences given by Justice Kevin Duggan of the Adelaide Supreme Court were as follows. Matthew Craig Austin, 21, sentenced to life with a non-parole period of 22 years. Ian Bruce Mackenzie, 19, sentenced to life with a non-parole period of 22 years. Tara Marie Cahoe, 18, sentenced to life with a non-parole period of 18 years. Amanda Pemberton, 18, sentenced to life. Lyle Bascom, 17, sentenced to life. There was a fifth offender, unnamed, who was given a 15-month suspended sentence for her part in the attack. In 2000, an appeal led to Cahill's non-parole period being reduced to 15.5 years and Pemberton's minimum term to 14 years, causing outrage in the general public and from the family of Tracy Muzyk. On October 7, 2016, with 6 months of her non-parole period left to serve, Tara Cahill, now 37, was taking part in a pre-release work program at a distribution centre near Foster's Road at Northfield. She simply walked away, and by 12:30 p.m. that day was reported as missing. On the 30th of October, she was found dead in a southern suburb of Adelaide. Police said there were no suspicious circumstances surrounding her death. In 2010, the Australian Immigration Department moved to revoke Amanda Pemberton's Australian passport so that she could be deported to New Zealand if parole was granted. Although born there, Pemberton left New Zealand at the age of 3, and her defence argued that she had no ties and would have no support there. Pemberton went to the Administrative Appeals Tribunal, which stopped the cancellation of her passport. But by 2014, the law had changed, and on Pemberton's release in 2018, after serving 22 years, she was deported. Not much is known on the 3 male offenders who took part in Tracy's murder, except that Lyle Bascom was transferred to a West Australian prison in 2008 to serve the remainder of his sentence. Thanks for watching. Until next time.